Wednesday, July 19th, 2023. You are listening to the Daly Dose Sports Podcast, and I am your host, Clint Daly, coming to you from the Mile High City here in Denver, Colorado, and we are back for another week of talking sports with a dose of common sense. Hey, happy Wednesday to you. Hope your week is going well. You are halfway through another week, which is a very good thing right now, because there's not a lot going on right now. I hope that you and your family and your friends are all doing well. You're staying strong and healthy right now. But, we've been talking about this for the last few weeks, but we have officially hit the slow season in the world of sports right now. I mean, last week, we literally had the slowest week of the year, as we have not one but 2 different days that there were literally 0 of the major sports in America playing any real actual games. So, what is the annual tradition during this slow time of year? Well, hopefully, you're going out and you're doing something else. Maybe you're going out and taking a bike ride, enjoying the nice weather, getting out and about, getting outside. But we do also have ESPN, who hosted their ESPYs show, kind of an annual thing, where they present awards, well, pretty much to anyone who will actually show up and accept them. I mean, there was a time when it was kind of like best catch, best team, best quarterback, those kind of things. But I also remember an era, and it seems like we're getting back to that now, where the show is kind of like, tonight we present the best left-handed third baseman from Canada award. I don't know. It doesn't sound like a real award to me. It sounds kind of made up. And for a while, like I said, the ESPYs were actually something to watch. Because 1, there's literally nothing else to watch right now. And 2, it was a chance to see a bunch of highlights from the previous years in sports. We maybe got a good host that was, making fun of the athletes, kind of making light of the situation, making it fun, making it a little unexpected. Now, doesn't have any of those things. It's gotten pretty weak. It's gotten kind of sad. And, we've talked about it here on The Dose, but ESPN has gotten really, really weird in the last few years. So, like this year, we got some standard, normal awards. The Kansas City Chiefs won Team of the Year. Okay, that's good. Denver Nuggets guard Jamal Murray, I think he was named Comeback Athlete of the Year. Not bad. But then Minnesota Vikings wide receiver Justin Jefferson won Catch of the Century. Of the century? The last 100 years? Justin Jefferson had the catch of the century. You'd think I would remember it if it had been the catch of the century. Claressa Shields won Boxer of the Year. I think maybe I saw Claressa Shields on an undercard once. Nothing I really remember. I would think there would be a couple other fighters out there that might be a little better than that. But then the USA women's soccer team won the Arthur Ashe Award for courage for demanding equal pay for women's national soccer players. I complain every single week that the Daly Dose should be getting paid the same amount as like the Joe Rogan podcast. I have yet to win an ESPY for courage. And you can say that's crazy, but it's literally the same thing. Like, you're asking for equal pay, but you're not bringing in equal money. Any part of that seem a little bit weird to you? Seems a little weird to me. ESPN is just such a special place right now, though. And it is amazing. But wait, this year they managed to actually drain a little more out of the pool. And this wasn't actually on ESPN. No, it was more on their favorite son, though. Because ESPN presented the award for greatest record-breaking performance, and of course it went to Los Angeles Lakers star LeBron James for breaking the all-time points record that was held for years by Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Hey, a very deserving lifetime achievement record, right? And then LeBron did what he does, the way he does it. And only LeBron could do this, because LeBron spoke at length while being completely tone deaf and coming off as like a giant blowhard. The 38-year-old stepped to the mic and he delivered this unforgettable line. And what he said was, "I don't care how many points I score or what I can or can't do on the floor. The real question for me is, can I play without cheating this game? The day I can't play without giving everything on the floor is the day I'll be done. Lucky for you guys, that day is not today." Wait a second. Did anyone out there actually think he was retiring? And that we needed to be reassured? Because the only one who has brought up anything about that was him. I mean, I'm just so glad he was able to inform himself that he wasn't retiring. Whew. Dodged that one, didn't he? Now he can breathe easier. So if you missed the ESPYs, and based on the numbers, you did, there is your little ESPY recap from last Wednesday night. By the way, speaking of those numbers, last Wednesday's ESPY Awards averaged a 1.4 rating and had about 2 million total viewers. That is about the same number as like what a Formula One race pulls here in America on Sunday mornings, or about the same number as what a weekly episode of Law & Order SVU gets. Whatever that is. Again, I just can't figure out why that network is failing. It is so shocking. One other news item from LeBron James, and I have to, talk about this a little. He did also announce that he's not going to be wearing the jersey number 6 this year. He says he has chosen now to go back to the number 23 because he would like to pay respect to Bill Russell, who of course passed away last summer. So think about this for a second. When LeBron James came to the league with the Cleveland Cavaliers, he wore number 23. Then he went to Miami and he went to number 6. Then he went back to Cleveland, then went back to 23. Then he went to the Lakers and kept 23. But then, in like 2022, he changed it back to 6, and now he's going to change it back to 23. Hey, if anyone ever wonders if sometimes it seems like LeBron, is concerned about weird things, aesthetics, sometimes over actual substance even, this is kind of the perfect example, right? Like you would think this offseason, LeBron might be more concerned that his team got swept out of the Western Conference Finals more so than pretending he was going to retire, which we knew he wasn't, and changing his jersey number. I guess that's just LeBron, though, isn't it? Honestly, when you think about how he is and how he operates, this all just kind of fits. Hey, before we jump in today, just want to remind you all to make sure you stop by DailyDoseSports.com each and every week, where we do put up new articles, but we also have links to the podcast. We have links to the YouTube video, and we have links to Daly Dose gear. You need a new t-shirt, a sweatshirt, a hoodie, maybe even, something for your office, maybe a coffee mug. Make sure you go over to DailyDoseSports.com. There are new things going up there every week. You want to make sure that you check those out. Okay, YouTube, make sure you do go over and you check out the full podcast this week, because this week on The Dose, there's not a whole lot going on in the world of sports. Just to be real honest. It's pretty quiet. But that doesn't mean there isn't anything to talk about. Instead of trying to drum up something to talk about, what we actually do this week is we tell some sports stories, and I would bet they are stories that you've never heard. And trust me on this, they are wild. They are insane. Plus, we do have a little bit of news to talk. There's some news coming out of the NFL. that we want to make sure to discuss, and we have a little bit of news in the world of college sports. One team is getting punished. We talk a little about that as well. So make sure you go over and check out the full podcast. I will leave a link here in the comments on YouTube for you. Hope you all are doing well. I will see you next Wednesday. Have a great week.